Breakfast Show, the show worth waking up for. Nazrin Rahman and Aisha Sinclair waking you up this fine Thursday morning, 13th of June 2013.
Yes, we've got an interesting show lined up for you today, and this is what we've got.
Be it utilitarian and strategic or exclusive and lavish, but are you aware of the criteria to consider when buying hillside property? Find out what you need to do to prepare yourself before making that purchase of a lifetime.
Buying your first home is an exciting venture, but at the rate that property prices are skyrocketing and the high cost of living, many worry if they'll be able to achieve this dream. Yes, so that's what we're talking about. We're talking about properties and the things you must look out for. And you know, this is always going to be a hot topic because people are always looking to buy property. A few of those big investments in life is, you know, your first home. That's like the biggest one ever.
Yeah, the biggest investment of your life, your first home. And of course, we'll explore how the lower income bracket can actually start saving for that first home. So strategies, watch out for those strategies right here on The Breakfast Show. Also, if you're into beautiful views and suasana yang nyaman, dan sebagainya. Well, if you were looking at hillside properties, we'll give you some tips on what to look out for when you make that purchase. So, I mean, little things about the landscaping, the actual structure itself, cracks and slopes, all this you have to consider.
Things to look out for. You know, one of the most unfortunate topics, and this is something that's been happening for years.
Absolutely.
You hear of a lot of, you know, cracks, landslides that have actually affected housing areas. Of course, the most famous one that's still not settled till today, the Cook, you know, case is still ongoing, is the Highland Tower case, which happened a good 15+ years ago,
almost
I believe.
2 decades ago, actually.
Almost 2 decades ago. So this is something that, unfortunately, is still ongoing. One of the most recent ones was in this area of Ampang, which actually did affect a Member of Parliament's home.
Bukit Antarabangsa,
Bukit Antarabangsa. So these are certain areas to look out for. Very beautiful, but you know what? There is a downside to it. So today we'll be talking all about that and possibly or hopefully give you all you need to know before you decide to make a big purchase, especially anywhere near hills.
All right, so do stay tuned to The Breakfast Show as we share with you the talk of the town. All right, we begin with the fourth person that's been sought for allegedly insulting the king on Facebook to surrender to cops on Saturday. Now, another individual wanted by police on suspicion of insulting the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Tuanku Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah will surrender on Saturday upon returning from abroad. Now, the case is being investigated under Section 4 in brackets 1 of the Seditions Act. Now, 1948. He told, this is according to the CID Deputy Chief ACP, Abdul Aziz Zakaria. Now, excuse me, on June the 1st, a Facebook account used by the accused was alleged to have issued statements insulting the speech of Tuanku Abdul Halim in conjunction with his birthday, which also received responses from her friends, which also insulted the Agong. Apparently, following the comments on Facebook, police received 35 reports from numerous groups, including certain NGOs, which wanted stringent action to be taken against the owner of the Facebook account as well as her friends. Now, of course, we take a look at the visuals. Of course, 35 reports received, and of course, visuals of angry people holding up their reports. But more importantly, we highlighted some of the excerpts from Facebook in which these seditious remarks have been made, and some were quite in bad taste. We apologize if we've offended some people from our visuals just now, but that's the reality of the situation in which people seem to think they're anonymous when they post things up on Facebook. That's a big downfall when you talk about social media.
Yes, although, you know, your accounts may be private, your friends only, but things have a way of getting out. And so, you know, there are certain topics that are very sensitive, or, you know, ones not you can't really talk about it here because of our constitution and certain laws. So please do be careful about what you write, what you think maybe, just a simple brain fart or some thinking out loud.
Exactly.
You're no longer doing it anymore if you're sharing it on as a status update on Facebook.
There are consequences to watch out for, that's for sure. And here's the thing, living in a country with so many diverse opinions, talk about religion, talk about race, talk about beliefs as well. I think the golden rule to follow here is if you've got nothing nice to say or type, I think it's best to just keep it to yourself at this point in time, simply because sensitivities are running high, and of course it's totally selfish to ignore the feelings of the other people, the other rakyat, just because you are unhappy with certain situations. It's about tolerance, living together with each other. Yeah, let's just put it that way.
I think it's just about finding a balance.
Absolutely.
And I completely agree. If you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. My father always said that. So,
all right.
There you go. Moving along, we're going to talk about some Penang ramp collapse. A family has been affected. Now, the family of the victim can seek legal action. This is according to the Deputy Works Minister. Now, the news is coming out of Georgetown. The family of the victim of the second Penang Bridge on the Tun Dr. Lim Chung Yu Highway have the right to legal action against the responsible parties. This is according to Deputy Works Minister Datuk Rosnah Abdul Rashid Shirlin. And she said the government was also sympathetic towards the family of the victim, Tajuddin Zainal Abidin, 45, and had visited them in Batam Buang.
However, she declined to comment further on the latest development on the incident, saying an official statement would be issued by the ministry after a complete report on the matter had been received. Now, just to recap, on Tuesday, a brother of the victim, Khairuddin Zainal Abidin, said legal action would commence next week to seek justice for the family and the victims. Of course, there were some injuries as well. The injured was Slamat, 36-year-old from Indonesia, Tin Maung Iwin, 39, from Myanmar, and Tilasheni Rajendran, 24 years old. So that's the scene of the carnage at the second Penang Bridge. And hopefully things can be resolved as quickly as possible. Many of the rakyat feel very strongly about it, and they want to know what really happened that led to the collapse.
What could have been the reason for it? Anyway, since you mentioned hope, our next piece of article is full of hope. The headline reads, Nelson Mandela responding better to treatment. And this was a statement from Jacob Zuma, who is the president of South Africa. Now, Madiba has been he's in hospital for the third time this year. And of course, he's in his 80s, and of course, the entire nation and world are really worried about him.
Because this is reactions from around Africa. And
this is back in the day, younger.
Back in the day when he was nice and spry. Right now, 94 years old, actually. And of course, just celebrated his 5th day in a Pretoria hospital. It's a recurrence of a lung infection. And the statement goes out, we urge South Africans and the international community to continue to keep President Mandela and the medical team in their thoughts and prayers. The condition of Mr. Mandela is very serious but stabilized, and the doctors were doing a very good job, adding that the former president was a good fighter.
Oh, yes. Now, it's said that Nelson Mandela, he was imprisoned for 27 years during the apartheid, and believes that he had suffered damage to his lungs due to all the work that he carried out in the quarries, and also he contracted tuberculosis in the 80s whilst being held in jail in the windswept Robben Island. Now, of course, the pictures that we showed earlier were prior to 2004, because since 2004 he actually retired from the public eye. Of course, probably just resting after all that.
He's been fighting a long, long time, and I think Madiba will never cease to continue fighting. Right now, he's fighting for his life, and of course, our thoughts and prayers of the international community go with him. Of course, may he recover very well. All right.
Anyway, next really big, iconic person that's we're about to talk about is Oprah Winfrey. Now, media mogul, that's one of the many things people call her, and one of the richest women in entertainment.
More influential, yeah.
Exactly, richest and most influential. Now, she's made the biggest donation to a new museum. There's a new museum that's going to be built in Washington, D.C. It's dedicated to African-American history. Now, Oprah Winfrey donated $12 million US
towards this museum. Now, the museum's on Washington's National Mall. It's due to be completed in 2015, and it will house a 35-seat theatre named after Winfrey, who's also a member of the museum's advisory council.
There you go. And of course, when it opens in 2015, it will be the 19th Smithsonian Museum. Now, some of the items which will be displayed include the glass-topped casket that held the body of 14-year-old Emmett Till, whose 1955 murder in Mississippi for whistling at a white woman helped spark the civil rights movement. So it's amazing how something so small can lead to something so life-changing at this point in time. The Smithsonian Museum, of course,
this
dedicated
altered history
to African American history. Now, of course, to cement it in a museum means you can't dispute it any further. And of course, Americans and the whole world will know the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes, you know, they're actually asking Oprah Winfrey for some of the memorabilia from her shows. Now, they're actually hoping to have one of the microphones that were used during her TV show, which was one of the most watched TV shows in US history, which unfortunately Oprah has put the Oprah Winfrey show to rest, which of course was a very sad day for all of us TV fans out there.
I remember colleagues going
25 years. It ended in 2011, right?
No more Oprah Winfrey. But she's got a network now, so it's okay. It's all right. She's moving on.
And I'm sure you can, always watch her
on reruns, that's for sure.
Or something like that. So there you go. With that, we wrap up the news for today.
Very good, very good. But of course, still to come, we give you some tips, especially if you're looking for that very first home. And those of you looking for hillside property, you should stick around as well. Here's what we've got for you. Meanwhile, let's talk about babies.
Oh, yes, of course, babies. Do you know what? Will and Kate.
Oh my goodness.
They're going to have one of the most beautiful babies. that and the entire world is waiting in anticipation with abated breath for this beautiful baby. Now, apparently...
NTV7 went through the biggest baby shower for people across the world for Will and Kate.
Through one of our own.
It's called Bella Bundle of Joy. And of course, you've never seen so many pregnant ladies all in one spot.
Yes, we attempted to break the Malaysian World Book of Records, and I believe we did.
Well, let's take a look.
Finally, I'm enjoying it. I'm able to smile, I'm able to eat. So I'm happy and I can't wait to see my baby.
Amazing thing to see your bum grow on a month-to-month basis. To have this little one that depends on you, on the things that you take on a daily basis that is going to be good for the baby, because someone is depending on your life.
Held to celebrate bundles of joy and to be more prepared for motherhood, NTV7 had just threw a huge baby shower for expectant mothers recently. Health speeches, presentations and the sharing sessions were shared in the event, specially catered for the mothers-to-be. Exhibitions were also set up to benefit expectant mothers, where they get to be involved in some hands-on experience.
It's an event to mark that occasion as we are expecting the due date for the royal family in July. But also, I think it's a nice way to get the moms-to-be to come out, learn a little bit or find out a little bit more information, get the information that they need or that they anticipate for their due date, and also for a day out for the dads to relax, watch some movies, eat some food, and also for the kids to run around.
Housing this baby shower as the first and largest gathering of pregnant women, Bella Bundle of Joy managed to capture the glow each of the mothers exude. We wish all mothers peace and strength as a beautiful journey awaits.
Months, the country has been alarmed with the alarming increase in landslides. Hillside properties are worth the risk.
Yes, we'll find out just how much risk when we return on The Breakfast Show. Also, for low-income earners looking for that first home, we will give you some tips and, of course, separate the men from the boys. All this and more happening on The Breakfast Show, the show worth waking up for.
convenience anytime, everywhere. Spritzer.
When you create meals with a mission, you'll watch your kitchen come bursting to life. Crispiest, crunchiest corn chips. And versatile wraps, suitable for all occasions. All waiting to be shared with the freshest ingredients. Meals with a mission. Taste with a difference.
Ini bukan serangan biasa. Ini mesti kerja orang yang bunuh Jaafar.
Mana Jenderal Mariam?
Tak ada masa aku nak ikut-ikut budak tu. Ini kan pula nak serang dia.
Saya rasa dah tahu siapa pembunuh tu.
You sure? Itu tu pasti. Jangan salah, susah kita nanti.
Saya tak ada bukti yang kukuh, tapi saya dah 2 kali tersempak dengan pembunuh tu.
This June, be enchanted by tales of English royalty. Get up close with 2 handsome princes.
Their love story became front-page news.
A special princess.
You go through the good times, you go through the bad times.
I think she's absolutely perfect for William.
It was good fun. We had a really good laugh and then things happened.
An enchanting romance.
Everyone is entranced by romance. They look happy together, and that makes people smile.
Look out for the royal bundle of joy.
And I think everyone's excited that Kate is bringing fresh blood into this family now.
So excited.
Don't miss these exclusive documentaries this June, only on your home of Feel Good.
There you go. Very good morning. Welcome back to The Breakfast Show, the show worth waking up for. Yes, we are talking all about property in this episode and this show. But today, right now, we're actually going to focus on hillside properties. Now, hillside properties, I think there's a certain appeal to it. People like living by the side of the hill because it's always expected, you know, a lot more greenery and then...
Breathing the fresh air,
yes,
beautiful exposure to the sunlight.
But there are risks to it, especially hillside properties here in this country. Now, over the past few years, and we mentioned earlier, you know, one of the biggest and most talked about one was that of the Highland Towers in Bukit Antarabangsa. Now, there are a lot of risks of landslides happening in this country. As a matter of fact, 14 hillside housing estates, this is an article that was written by The Star, in the area of Ampang and Pandan areas, besides Bukit Antarabangsa, have been identified by the Selangor government as being at risk of landslides. So these are all something, a lot of things that we need to, you know, put into consideration before you go out and get yourself a house by the hill.
There's so many articles, so many news bulletins about it. And for homeowners, we speak to Professor Dr. Roslan Zainal Abidin, President and Vice-Chancellor of Infrastructure University, Kuala Lumpur. And of course, they work very closely with bodies like IKRAM and advising these bodies on the best way to do things. And we talk about hillside property. Thank you very much, Professor, for joining us this morning. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And we talk about hillside property. What's the appeal in general?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank NTV7 for inviting Infrastructure University Kuala Lumpur, in short IUKL. Which IUKL is wholly owned by the Kumpulan Ikram Tun Berhad, and is the education arm of the Pertas Berhad group of companies.
I see.
So, with regards to the appeal for this very hill development areas, I think the public really wants for it. So, because we look at the the scenario by sitting on the hilltop, you can see very nice view, and then you think that you're so great, you can look down there, looks very great. So I think the appeal is there, I think, for people looking for this sort of development on the hillside.
So, and of course, there's a premium to pay on it as well.
Of course. So as far as hill development, I think not even in Selangor, even for any other states in Malaysia, there are so many hills anyway. Of course, the risks for all the areas are there, but with the modern technique available, I don't see that there is a problem to construct it anyway.
Well, here's the thing. In Malaysia, we've got panas dan hujan sepanjang tahun. Of course, erosion is our number one issue when we talk about development on the hillsides. Yeah? What are some of the other elements, the authorities, the engineers, and also homeowners, what should they consider when they look at a hillside?
Okay, one thing when people look at the hill, people have the feeling of
peace,
scared,
tranquility,
like trauma,
Especially with all the news coverage of late, so you kind of feel a bit adverse to it.
And people forgot that, the most important factor before any landslide to occur, there's an erosion process.
Yes.
Okay, this erosion, there are so many factors that governing erosion. We are talking about the rainfall, how erosive the rainfall is, and we talk about the soil texture. So I don't think people who want to buy this area knows about this. So these are all basic technical things that a buyer should know anyway. Because I remember when the landslide occurred in Highland Tower.
Yes.
Even nowadays, when people, when heavy rain is coming in, people are very scared, and they try to be away from the area.
Exactly.
So that's why erosion must be really tackled off very carefully. And also we talk about proper planning, proper design, and also construction, and also the maintenance.
It's good that you mentioned proper design as well, because when we refer back to Highland Towers, and we've got visuals of Bukit Antarabangsa right here, the main cause, as I read in the news, is design flaws and lack of maintenance. These are the two top reasons. What are your thoughts?
Okay, it's true in one way, because remember, as time goes on, there are so many experts on different view how you look at it. You see,
techniques evolve, and also understanding evolves.
I remember when I attending any conferences, when you give any lectures, people always mention that there are so many experts here and there, from government agency, from private companies. So why don't combine these two forces and come up with something that we can decide for the future? So that you take care of all those factors coming in, whether it's on rainfall, on physical, on whatever.
I don't know, I mean, too many cooks may seem to spoil the broth in this situation. So maybe we should look at another country that is known for hillside construction, such as Hong Kong. It's a small island, lots of hilly areas, and hillside construction is second nature to them.
It's true.
Should we be learning from these people?
That's why, you see, when we have this sort of landslide, almost every year is occurring in Malaysia anyway. But we learn actually from our mistake. But how far do we learn?
Yes.
Is it to what extent, to what level? Learning from other countries is one of the things, like Hong Kong. I remember Hong Kong, even I went to the site together with one of the ministers last year. So we have a look at Hong Kong. They have a very special, some sort of like a database for all the slope in the country.
Wow, that's good.
So every slope have the identity number.
Yes.
So
and then they have gradients, probably not
that's
just
right.
on.
So we hope with that experience in Hong Kong, which I think most of us went there, we should be able to come up with our own identity for all the slope throughout the nation.
Throughout the nation?
Throughout the
Something
nation.
that we can hopefully implement. Now, you mentioned just then, Prof, that few prospective buyers must be aware of certain things to look out for, erosion, when choosing hillside properties. But should the onus be upon the buyer or the developer to ensure that the property or the area is safe to develop?
Of course, both need to be considered. You see, the buyer, he or she himself must know. You see, whether the area that he or she interested, whether the safety issue is there or not, the risk is there or not, whether the area is prone landslide areas or not, and then whether the slope is a cut slope or is a field slope.
Is there a big difference?
There is a difference between the cut slope and the field slope. The cut slope means they are cutting the slope at the natural condition at the area. Fill slope means they're taking, transporting material from the other area and then fill on the slope.
And that's where the danger is,
yes,
isn't it?
but if properly monitored, it can be solved.
It can be solved.
So anything, even how dangerous it is.
Yes, if done properly.
Done properly, and then it can be solved in one way or another.
Also, our country is safe and so blessed in the sense that we don't suffer from earthquakes and such. Yet so many hillside properties and sites are in danger. What's your thoughts on this?
Okay, as far as Malaysia is concerned, we are very lucky actually. We are not belonging to the ring of fire. Okay, but anyway, as time goes on, the earth is moving anyway. The ground is moving all the time. So the changes is there from time to time. So it's high time for us to consider, even though we don't have this sort of a very big or large like tsunami or maybe like earthquake and so on, but there is a warning to us already. So it's high time for us to design our building to consider all those factors coming
Now, are there any stringent guidelines? Now, I do know that we hope to apply the whole, grading of slopes similar to that of Hong Kong, but are there right now any current guidelines that developers must adhere to in order to do a hillside development?
So they do have this guideline. Actually, as far as guideline is concerned, I think our country have enough guidelines. Even the present...
Is this the implementation?
Just implementation of it, you see?
I see.
So we talk about the slope classification, for example. Some, we have slope class 1, for example.
Okay, and what would that be?
So it will be less than 15 degrees, for example.
I see.
So let's say class number 2 will be 15 to 25. So less than 50 to 25 becomes a gentle slope.
I see.
So that means gentle slope means they are very friendly. We can make friends with the slope. But class 3 we have 25 to 35. And then the class 4 we have more than 35
So
degrees.
anything above a class 3, that's when it should be,
So that means class 1 and 2, there's no problem on development, no issues. But for class 3 and 4, not to say that we cannot develop, but we can develop with condition that we have enough report on certain things that we need to know.
Now, when you talk about, big developments, so they have an entire team that will come up and then, they can come up with a report and survey the land. But there are many areas, and this is my housing area, it's got a few hills of their own. So people will buy plots of land and they will build their house themselves. Now, what are the steps? Obviously, the onus is upon them to actually make sure that
the foundations are strong.
Yes, the foundations are strong. Now, what kind of a process or procedures they must go
through?
So
the owner, when they want to construct their own, on their own plot, they should submit all those their plannings. They cannot just simply construct whatever they like. They have to submit all their plans, what they plan to do, what sort of wall they are going to build up, and they also understand about the future development of the area also.
Yes.
See, here's the thing about Malaysians, they complain when tragedies like this happen. Oh, where's the implementation? Where's the maintenance? Where's the piawaian? And then when it comes to their own, they just diam-diam kita buat sudah. Okay, that's the melody that must change. But for people looking for hillside properties, first of all, our viewers hopefully understand that there's a premium to hillside properties simply because of the extra infrastructure and the extra foundations to be put in.
Correct. Yes,
but what should they be looking out for? Telltale signs, maybe cracks in the wall, or when they go to a hillside property to survey, what should they look out for?
Okay, one thing they must know the background of the area, for sure.
Is it prone to landslides or floods?
So what kind of, for example, like whether any existing of the present technique available there, for example, they cover the slope.
Okay.
Whether it's a water catchment area or not. Those are the things they must know.
All right.
And also any establishment technique available on the site. But most important, which I think people tend to forget, is the erosion features.
Okay, and then people usually take erosion quite lightly. So that's the first big telltale sign, isn't it?
Like, for example, we take a look at this visual over here,
Yes.
I mean, that's a bit too late already. But from here, the telltale sign is, as I understand it, is little trails of mud. Is that a telltale sign?
Okay. When you look at any slope, with a wall especially,
wall,
I'm going to relate to how can we relate to the failure to the erosion features.
Yes, sure.
Okay, for any slope in Malaysia or even any other country in the world, we have three kinds of erosion features. They have sheet erosion, we have rill erosion and gully erosion.
Gully erosion.
So sheet erosion is the removal of the top surface of the slope.
Topsoil, okay.
Topsoil. And rill is a small opening. You can see a small opening on the slope.
At the crevices.
Like a river. And gully is the worst part of the erosion, which is like a hole. So when this slope being covered by a wall. Let's say if people doesn't know that it's a gully erosion or it's a real or what. If it's sheet erosion, you cover the wall, nobody, nothing to fear of.
You can't see, yeah.
But if it's a gully, for example, so any raindrop that falls on the wall, it goes down inside at the back of the slope.
It seeps, yeah?
It seeps down there. So in any time, you never know when is the time. So just collect, you just push away. The water will just push away the wall.
And no retaining wall will help, yeah?
That's why you can see that the pictures now. You see?
That's exactly what happens.
Like that,
I see.
So the most important now, we must identify the erosion process, whether it possess any features or not. Sometimes people call it a scar, erosion scar, on the surface of the soil.
In terms of the property itself, in terms of the structure, let's say it's already built, and the real estate agents come, take a look at the house, so beautiful, so pretty. Are there any telltale signs in the house that we can look up?
Okay. For example, like, if they ask us to go and have a look at the building, right? Of course, the first thing, instinct will see whether is there any slope behind the building or not.
Of course. That's a good idea.
So I remember there's one project which I visited, So I opened the window, I saw the slope exactly behind it.
Oh, okay.
Right. And then the other thing, you have to see the physical, whatever you can see with your physical recognition on the building itself. Whether there's any crack or not. You see, those are the things people are very concerned. But the public will know it's very, very fast because the crack can be seen. So whenever they saw the crack, they would just call, BBK and so on to come in.
There are a lot of things that you can't see, for instance, like they say, if it's an underground stream, and who do you need to talk to, which body, or who would be able to give you that kind of information about the land you're about to purchase?
That's why when you're submitting for a very big project, especially on hill development, we need a thorough report on the geological strata. We need on this, geotechnical report, and even the drainage especially. So normally people will also blame the drainage because it's being stopped, being clogged, the water cannot flow from what being planned for the pipe to come up with the water. So because of that, the easy way to blame, either you blame the drain is not functioning or because of the rainfall.
That's it.
You see?
You can't blame the force of nature.
That hasn't changed much.
That's right. That's why when we do any research, when I have done research, we do on rainfall erosivity, how erosive the rainfall is, how erodible the soil is. You need to understand these two things.
Exactly.
It's the two main important.
A lot of people compare us to Hong Kong, but what they fail to realize is in Hong Kong, the rainfall is a lot less, number one. Number two, it falls like mist, like small raindrops. When honkies come here, wow, rain up, pop, all over your head. So that's the kind of rain that really erodes soil, isn't it?
You see, in Malaysia, when we make a study, we know that one day, if 20 millimeter rainfall falls in Malaysia, erosion process start to initiate.
Already?
You see, 20 millimeter.
Okay.
So we talk about international standard, we're talking about 40 millimeter. But in Malaysia, we talk about 20. So that means, just imagine.
It's because of the kind of rain.
It's a thing. So when people start to blame the rain, and we have a special study on this rainfall erosivity, we can even say it's not the fault of the rain, because rain cannot talk.
Exactly.
But we can talk about the rain.
And we can anticipate,
Yes, and do your due diligence, because this is no joke. Especially with our track record, is even more so the reason why you should take those extra steps. Now, do you have any words of advice, Prof, before we wrap up this interview about people?
The most important for me, for the nation, for example, like for hill slope development. So as far as construction is concerned on hill development, there's nothing to fear about actually. As long as we have all the guidelines being followed, or put in place, and then we have the environmental impact assessment report, we have the geotechnical report, we have the geological strata report, even the MASMA with the drainage report, and especially the maintenance.
So that means all the guidelines are there, all the SOPs, standard operating procedures are there as well,
all are enough.
with the new developments, yeah?
Yes.
But, okay, maybe one last question. How about developments that have been around for some time on hill slopes that maybe people are a bit scared of because maintenance issue dan sebagainya? What say you?
So the best thing now is to not every weekly report you have to come up. See what are the, something that stress the area or not. You can see some negative impact on the area, especially on the hill slope. So immediately now we have to do it. You cannot just wait for the time to come.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that means you have to make a record every weekly report. I think it's worth to do so, rather than to wait something to happen.
Yes, of course.
Absolutely. Safety
we are
first,
about lives
fun
too.
second, that's for sure. So for viewers out there looking for hillside slopes or even living there as well, due diligence is required. Of course, there's a premium you pay for enjoying the peace and tranquility on the hill or on the mountain. Yeah. Jadi, Professor, thank you so much for sharing with
thank you very much.
with us as well. And hopefully, please continue the due diligence. That's for sure, for the safety of all Malaysians out there. And of course, for our viewers, don't be afraid or suddenly pushed off by the fact that there's so much to consider when going for hillside property, but still the returns are quite rewarding.
Yes, talking about returns and rewarding. After the break, we're going to be talking about buying your first home. Yes, there are a lot of things that you would want to consider. Now, with skyrocketing property prices, many worry that they cannot purchase their own homes. Now, we'll be getting some advice from our property guru, so don't touch that dial.
She makes me happy on the coldest day. She makes me happy.
After nearly 2 decades, Rod Stewart comes back with his first album of new material, returning to his songwriting roots. Want to know how he rocks it again this time? Win this album by these simple steps. Name Stewart's first 2 singles in his album, Time, and tell us in not more than 15 words, what do you love about Rod Stewart as a performer? Like us on Facebook for more details.
She makes me happy. She's driving me wild.
What's all these? Oh, some healthy food for you. Try this V-Soy multigrain, much easier than cooking.
V-Soy multigrain, the soy milk that's enriched with 4 natural grains, a healthy alternative to fill your tummy. V-Soy, quality you can taste.
Get ready for an exciting June. Take a trip filled with compassion.
垃圾堆积成山，吸引了穷困的人从中寻找可以再循环的垃圾。
The Activist's Journey starting 7th June every Friday 10 p.m.
欢迎大家收看全新一季的《女人占上风》。
What's trendy and fashionable?
薄纱的部分呢，带一点点的性感。
Women's Zone starting 30th June every Sunday 6 p.m.
100天地
Peek into an unknown world of sadness.
我是在和命运赌，赌我嫁进许家，我会得到幸福。
Marry into the Purple starting 21st June every Monday to Friday 6 p.m.
所有證據都證明係佢親手殺死自己嘅老豆。
In search of truth and justice.
喺檢控嘅字典入邊，從來都冇無辜呢兩個字。
The Other Truth starting 19th June every Monday to Wednesday 11 p.m. Don't miss these great shows in June, only on your home of Feel Good. Are they still lovers, or have they moved on?
小林，嫁给我。
A male chauvinist and a strong feminist. Can their relationship survive their egos?
我结婚要跟传统走的，白酒。
Is marriage really the grave of love?
你从昨天晚上打 game 打到现在，
是你自己叫我去的哦。
Love Compulsory Season 2 every Friday 9:30 p.m. It's romance once again, only on your home of Feel Good.
서울에서 한 가닥 한다는 놈 전화 온다더니.
She's not any ordinary schoolgirl. And when it comes to getting the boy of her dreams, she'll do anything, right or wrong, for the sake of love. Don't miss My Sassy Girl Chun Hyang every Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. only on your home of Feel Good.
My goodness, it sets people's hearts afire when we talk about property. Yes, I mean, we talk about single people, we talk about young married couples, we talk about established couples, we talk about big families. Everyone's looking for a home. And of course, in Malaysia, it's booming, but with the property prices going up and up and up, when do we decide to buy? Should we wait till it goes down? Should we not wait and it continues to go up? When is the best strategies to use when choosing that home? We have all this for you and more.
Yes, that's why we're joined by a wealth guru here on our set, the wealth coach, Dr. Shah Razali, who will hopefully answer some of our questions, the burning questions when it comes to properties.
Thank you very much for being with us
welcome.
on the show.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting.
So, what's the first thing you need to know when it comes to purchasing your first home?
Okay, that's the... First of all, I would like to thank you for NTV7 for inviting me.
Pleasure.
And then to answer that question, is the things that we must understand that we want buy for own stay or for investment. If for the own stay, yes, you can buy at any place as long as you feel that it's comfortable for you. And then the most in the Malaysian people, they would like to buy a landed property. So you must have a plan also, even though you buy for your own stay. And then if you buy for investment, as well as for own stay, you still also need to have planning. Planning how to grow all your investment portfolio, and then also how to grow the funds to buy next and next and next. That's the strategy that you have to need.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, of course, when we talk about the fact that more opportunities should be given to low-income earners, we talk about 40 to 60,000 ringgit bracket. Is it viable for them to start saving for a home?
Yes. The most important things here is not about the property price. Property price keep increasing every year.
Yes.
So we must understand that. We in the economies that inflation is come together. Okay. So the most important things for Malaysian people now must know how to do saving. The saving is the most important things. Then how to control their financial and their incomes. Okay, as we know that we have 4 types of incomes. So we must utilize that. For the normal people that have aggressive income, they have a side income. Side income before they have a portfolio income and passive income. So if the salary at the moment is still not enough, so they have to do something for the side income. As we know that previous Prime Minister Tun Abdullah also encouraged people to do a side income, especially for the government servant. So then here means not because of the salary is not enough, but because of the challenge for the future is more
in terms of saving for your deposit.
Yes.
And of
so
course,
you must have a saving. You must have a saving. You must know how to do 1/3 of it, and then you must understand what is the banking strategy before you buy any property. So then, when you buy, you pay your booking, so everything can go smooth.
So basically, 1/3 of your salary is saved every month, and it has to be done for a certain amount of years. And that discipline must be instilled before you start planning for your first home.
Yes.
That is important.
Now, of course, when it comes to saving money, yes, that's very important. But how do you determine as to whether the home that you're interested in is actually really affordable based on your income? I believe there is like a percentage that the monthly payment can only be a certain percentage of your actual salary.
Yes, that one we call it debt burden ratio.
Yes.
Debt burden ratio, or some people call it debt service ratio.
Debt service ratio.
Debt service ratio. So this one must be 1/3 from your net salary.
Net salary.
Net salary.
Okay, so 1/3 goes to your savings, the other 1/3 goes to your house.
Because previously it's 1/3 from your gross salary. But then since last year, Bank Negara come out with a new policy that must be 1/3 from the net salary. So it's more tougher for people who already take a loan for like a personal loan, credit cards, more burdens. Yes.
Exactly.
Now, there's that makes it actually a lot harder for potential, home buyers. Thankfully, the government launched Prima, which is to help lower income, and also they've got a scheme to help people with
purchasing their first home. Now, a lot of people already have car because Malaysians have to live. You cannot live without their cars. And then the more affordable developments are usually further away from city centre. Therefore, you know, a car is a must.
Yes.
So how does one work around that then?
Especially for the Prima. Why is government come up with the Prima? Actually, to help for the middle class and low class income earners. That's for this type of people that they can afford to buy a property less than 600,000. Yes, and then the location also quite wise. And then this opportunity to help people who those that already spend for the cars, personal loans, credit cards, and other debts. So their what we call it the banking flows is more easier compared than normal people.
I see.
But then they have rules and regulations. Only not all people are suitable for this kind of package.
Yes, they've got to really choose.
Here's another thing. Okay, now let's concentrate on buying homes for investment, especially low-income earners want to sort of get ahead in life, so to speak. Now, many people have their opinion. Once I buy a house, sure, I'm on the road to success already. I'm going to buy, the house is going to go up 300,000 and then I'm going to be rich.
Personal assets are going to be increased.
Is that really the case?
Yes, the appreciation is there. For the property, the appreciation is always there. So we must understand for the low-income earner or middle class, how they can grow their wealth actually. Last time when I told my students that they need to buy, if they cannot afford to buy semi-Ds or cannot afford to buy a landed property, a terrace or whatsoever, just go for the apartment, no, even a flat. Start with the flat. Start with the flat, and the flat definitely the appreciation is there. And then you sell the flat, and then move to apartment, condo to the
step by step.
But this is if they intended to stay in the property itself.
Yes.
What kind of advice would you offer those who are actually looking to buy something for speculative purposes?
Or investment.
For investment, they have actually two. One, they can buy for the subsist one. Subsist for what they can get for the passive income from the rental. And another one, they're looking for under construction. Under construction properties, definitely, as we know that in the hot area, is whereby the location is the most important things, and the tenantable or resellable location. So this type of property, once appreciation is there upon completion, wow.
Exactly.
20 to 30% is there.
Who want to go for quick returns, 20 to 30% returns on a big lump sum would go for the strategy. Buy it, build it up, wait for it to build, and then sell it.
Yes.
I see.
Because it only takes about 2 years. If you have a sum of money, let's say 50 or 80,000, you put in FD or whatever, you cannot get this kind of return.
That's for sure.
But then if you buy a property under construction, upon completion, it's definitely more than that.
As any form of investment, inherent risks do exist. Now, when it comes to buying, construction developments that are still under construction, yes, in theory, it is actually quite good. But what about, right now, another concern that a lot of people are worried about is that there is an oversupply, possibly, of new developments, for instance.
And overblown prices.
Yes, so how, of course, there is no guarantee, but how do you make sure that the property you're getting, there's a big chance that you'll be able to flip it and actually make the capital returns?
Oh, okay.
Indicators,
the indicators, I have, there must be a location. Location must be at the hotspot, must be at the merchant. You cannot predict what happens next. Seems like people predict what's happened in Bukit Beruntung last time. And then see now what happened.
Exactly. Speculators jahat.
People said, okay, later we will come out with the airport, blah, 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 blah. And then suddenly nothing happened. So when you choose a property, you must choose at the infrastructure must be already matured there, must be already constructed, must be there.
That means real appreciation.
Yes, it must be real. So even though the price a bit high compared than rural or be like what's happening in Sepang or whatever now, outskirts, yes. But then the appreciation is promising compared than that kind of area. So you must look at the locations, and the second one must be tenantable or sellable. This property, that's why when you look at the matured location, you can see the property surrounding. So from that, you can do a survey, can ask people outside there how the rental and how if you want to sell this property, you can see like other beside the apartment or beside the terrace or semi-dis. Yes,
I see.
So you can see the return is very fast, and the appreciation very fast, and then you can sell or you can make capital returns.
I see. So of course, location. Maybe a hint is infrastructure. So you see LRTs coming up.
MRT.
Is a good idea.
Now we're following the MRT trail and looking left, right, and centre.
Follow the trail, you'll find the money. Maybe as we wrap things up, because we're running out of time. Now, many viewers out there, I know we're all in the same boat. The dilemma is there. To buy or not to buy? When is the best time to buy? Because the prices, a lot of people are talking about the property bubble, which means people are just speculating, it grows bigger and bigger, and pop! And next thing you know, prices are going down again.
Is that going to happen? And maybe we can burst our bubbles.
Yes, exactly.
A lot of people keep asking me and then keep telling that price will be burst.
So wait.
So wait. It happens since 2010.
Exactly.
Wait. Now in 2013, the price keep increasing.
20%.
Yes. 20%, 30%. Now is keep increasing.
Yes.
Because last time we can buy a terrace property is only about 500,000 or 400,000. I still remember where the first terrace property that I bought is 200 plus in the year 2002. So then we keep moving. It keep increasing. Keep increasing, and then until today, the terrace 2070 is about 800 to 900 already.
Wow, that's
it's only for the terrace. So
that's times 4.
Don't wait. This is a property. Malaysia is not like Singapore. It's not like Indonesian, or it's not like US or UK, because we only have 4 hotspots. 4 city of a hotspot. We have Klang Valley, we have JB, especially in Iskandar, Malaysia, Medini, and then we have Penang and Kota Kinabalu.
That's it.
These 4 hotspots. So if we wait, we still have a lot of lands. So we cannot say that hotspot area will be burst, that the price will be decreased. No, it won't happen.
Will never burst.
Never burst.
So the time is now, ladies and gentlemen.
If you can afford it.
If you can afford it, of course. Just to reiterate what Doctor has said earlier, basically it's 1/3 you put aside, 1/3 to service your loan, and if you can't afford that, it's time to sit back and build your finances.
Yes.
And when it comes to purchasing, due diligence, like we spoke to Prof earlier with Hill Slope, due diligence is very, very important. Study the area, the accessibility, the infrastructure, and especially if it's insured. So there you go. You know, this is going to be one of your biggest purchases. So make sure you do all the research.
There's so much more to talk about. We talk about the litigation, we talk about choosing the right lawyers and what clauses to put in, the prices, speculating price. So much to talk about. So, Doctor, we hope we can have you again to speak more about
We've only
this.
just scratched the surface, haven't we? Thank you very much, Doctor.
So do stay with us, and we're going to take a quick break right here on The Breakfast Show, the show worth waking up for. And when we do come back, let's wrap things up this fine Thursday morning.
Don't go anywhere.
There's a light, certain kind of light.
Not taking his success for granted, Michael Bublé comes back with an album filled with heartfelt songs. The Breakfast Show and Warner Music Malaysia are giving away limited copies of To Be Loved by Michael Bublé. All you have to do is to answer this question. Name 2 original songs written by Michael Bublé and his latest album, To Be Loved. Complete the slogan in not more than 15 words. Michael Bublé is one of my favorite vocalists because... Like our Facebook page to find out more.
Love somebody the way I love you.
Spritzer.
Hello, Rod. Do you have anything new for us? How about something you've never heard before?
She makes me happy on the coldest day. How do you do that thing that you do to me over and over again? All the pain, all the grieving, when did we stop believing? Too late now, stop the bleeding, it's all right.
Enter my mind. To my mind. Freak. I am the mind freak. There's no reality. No! This world of
Kau upah jalani untukmu. Dapat. Dapat ah. Ini begitu yang boleh dapat. Hospital ni, Yuskar.
Hei, Tuan, kau kenapa? Kau berantak.
Pecah kepala aku macam ni.
我爸，他真的很逊哎，他真的很爱装，从以前到现在都是这样。
What's up？ 博呀，你还没有接受我的 Facebook 邀请啊？
真的很烦哎，可是我知道他为了与我靠近才这么做，可能这样才显得很酷。爸，谢谢你，父亲节快乐。
As the rise of superheroes continues to make its wave, Tony Stark stays and leaves a mark with his smarty pants personality, not forgetting his crazy toy collection. Inspired by the motion picture of Iron Man 3 itself, a soundtrack and concept album Iron Man 3 Heroes Fall was released by various artists. The Breakfast Show and Universal Music are giving away limited copies of Iron Man 3 Heroes Fall. All you have to do is to answer the following question. Name 3 featured artists in the album Iron Man 3 Heroes Fall and complete the slogan in not more than 15 words. Iron Man 3 Heroes Fall is a must-have soundtrack because like us on Facebook to find out more.
Just good old-fashioned revenge.
Our player has just arrived.
You're my hero!
Remember Mike Wazowski and James P. Sullivan from Monsters, Inc.? They're back. Monsters University is a blast to the past to the inseparable past first encounter and adventures in their university. We've got some exclusive movie premiums to give away, so what are you waiting for? Just answer these questions. Who is the director of the Monsters University? And tell us in not more than 15 words why you love Mike and Sully. Like us on Facebook for more details.
That's right. As we promised on Facebook as well as all our advertisements, yes, we're giving away stuff from Monsters, Inc. Yes, like us on Facebook and, of course, relive your childhood.
Yes. Okay, you know, on that note, we are going to wrap up today's show. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you had a good time.
Absolutely.
You know, if you want to, I'm not going to say if you missed it, you would have known if you missed it. No. But if you wanted to get certain points that you missed, you can always watch us on tonton.com.my again. Now, tomorrow, Naz is going to be back with Satira.
Absolutely,
and what are you talking about?
We shall be talking about food and more food, gastronomical delights. We talk about Western, and of course, you see those mushrooms over there? We're going to make some magical things with those.